In the mid-1970s, I was doing urban street work with youth in Boston, Massachusetts, and I came across a book called Black Theology and Black Power by a little-known theologian named James Cone. It seemed to me to be an angry book, which shouted to me from the pages of the racial injustices foisted on black Americans, and reflected the calls that were going across the nation for black people to join forces and to confront and throw off the yokes of their white oppressors. As a young person working in a predominantly black, Puerto Rican, and poor white community, I didn't know quite what to make of the book. But I'd gotten a glimpse of the anger that I had sensed in the book. At that time in the city of Boston, there was racial uproar over the fact that low-income black, Puerto Rican, and white kids were being bused across the city to desegregate formerly racially homogeneous schools. And no one was happy about it, and violence was everywhere, in the schools, in the streets, everywhere. I understood the anger because I was living literally in the middle of it, and it was out of control. A few years later, when I was in seminary, James Cone came to speak at my school. And the short, slight black man with the gentle, high voice did not fit with the powerful words that I had read in his book only a few years before. I have to say, my school was not a hospitable environment for Dr. Cone, and he was challenged and cajoled by many of my professors and many of the students for his supposedly radical views. But I was moved by the clarity of his response and the gracious manner in which he zeroed in on the racial blindness of my professors and peers. He was the epitome of Proverbs 15:1. A gentle answer turns away wrath. The tongue of the wise makes knowledge acceptable. And since that time, I've read every book Cone has written, and I've continued to find his analysis quietly and forcefully compelling, just like the man. This past week, I asked you to read James Cone's book, The Cross and the Lynching Tree. And I've also provided you with a video of an interview done with Dr. Cone near the time that the book was released a few years ago. Now, we've been talking in this course about the scourge of racism in our country, and have acknowledged with great disturbance the complicity of the church in the slave trade and Jim Crow, and agonized over the complacency and ignorance of the church, especially the white church, over even recent concerns like the shootings of Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown and Eric Garner and the 9 innocent victims of the church in Charleston this past summer. Well, The Cross and the Lynching Tree. In this book, Dr. Cone offers a theological response to these realities that you may find disturbing, but I also hope you find compelling. I know I have. While he speaks out of the black experience, his words invite us to explore other relevant symbols for other oppressed groups in our culture, for Native Americans, for Middle Eastern Americans, Muslims, for undocumented immigrants, and many more. He invites us to look for other symbols that are equally relevant and equivalent to the cross in our time, just like the lynching tree is for black folks. I look forward to discussing this book together with you, because I believe it is a very important book for our time.